live.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining this August 24th live stream,
With
Unfeathered live
Unfeathered.
stream.
Hi,
This
everybody. Happy
is,
Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Thank you for taking time to join our second official live with Unfeathered. Myself, Justin Thomas, and my gracious and great co host, Netta Safadi. So, Netta, go ahead and
thank you.
brief introduction.
Thank you very much, Justin. Actually, let's welcome our two members who are listening right now, but I'm sure the audience will pick up. Super grateful to everyone. We are live streaming on X, YouTube, and LinkedIn at the very moment. This is an interactive discussion. So drop any questions you have in the comments section and we will check and we will be answering. Thank you very much for your time. We have, we'll see how many topics we could cover today. We have three topics already in our agenda, but let's keep going. So, my name is Netta. I think many people know me from another community called The Hunt on X, where I host with the founder, Sean Charles, a space called The Hunt Get Your Next Job in Tech. I started this beautiful community with Justin 3 months ago called Unfeathered, where we rise together. We have started our second live stream today. From a professional background, I am a release manager lead at a financial firm called Morgan Stanley. My team and myself, we handle deployments, updates, software patches across the entire financial firm. So that's my intro. Justin, your turn.
Well, thank you for that. She's very modest. Netta is the person to know. She is the connector. All right, guys. It's me, Justin Thomas, aka the Job Father. I am an executive recruiter and also a career coach with over 15 years of experience, mainly focusing on software as a service, consulting, healthcare and government, and overall technology roles in the entire corporate function from the top to the bottom. Uh, I met Netta back in December or January through one of our fellow career coaches, Bez, one of his live streams. I met Netta, he connected us. And from there, Netta has helped my network grow, helped me grow as a professional. I hope I've done some for the same for her. And we started
Definitely.
Unfeathered. We
No
spoke about
doubt.
Unfeathered about 6 months ago, and here we are now getting the lives going. So I'm excited about today. Thank you again for joining us. Remember, the job search does suck. It's not you, it's the job search, and everybody is struggling. So if you're looking for the insider intel for finding your next role in your career or even transitioning up within your current role, this is the place to be. And we're excited about the topics we have for you today.
Yeah, we're going to give you the no fluff, zero BS information that you need to have on your job search. I've been to my fair share of spaces or career and from info, and I could tell you the intel that Justin's given me, and some other career coaches as well. But I mean, Justin is super raw, and I appreciate that about him. So that's one of the reasons we decided to collaborate together. So let's start, Justin. What topics are we covering today? Or at least let's start with the first one.
Well, do you want to just list all three and just go from there? We have 23
Yes.
viewers in the chat. Drop something in the chat. Say hello.
Don't be shy.
Let us know you're here.
Don't
Okay.
be shy. Okay. Our first topic is how to negotiate your offer.
Oh,
The
great
second
topic.
offer. Yeah.
That is
Second
a.
topic. Yeah, go ahead, Justin.
Sorry to interrupt. I just get too excited. Go ahead.
Second topic, demystifying the applicant tracking system. That ATS system we all want to throw out the window when we send our resumes and it goes into the void. We don't know where it goes. All right. So, we have Onway and Forever. Hi. Thank you so much for your support. Appreciate you. Drop your questions as well. We'd love to hear from you. And the third topic, if we have some time, red flags recruiters look for during interviews. And we covered some of those a little bit yesterday, some red flags that recruiters notice when networking in our space on X. Uh, I'll drop the link. Uh, I'll drop the link for everyone later. But yeah, these are the three topics that we'll be covering today. Two for sure, and one if we have time. So
All right.
Justin.
So the one I'm super excited about is how to negotiate offers, right? So I know we talk a lot about the job search, but a lot of you have been grinding it out and doing what you're supposed to do throughout the job search. And guess what? You're getting the interviews, and you're even getting to the the final rounds, and getting to the part where you negotiate your offers. I've had 3 or 4 clients over the last 2 weeks call me with the same question: Justin, how do I get more money? Or how do I negotiate? What happens when they ask me about money? So that's why I think this is a hot topic right now, because a lot of you are at this stage, and we want to make sure you walk away with the offer that you cannot refuse. Okay. So go ahead, Netta.
One of the first thing that comes to my mind as a candidate is the fear of losing my offer if I negotiate.
Okay.
A lot of
Why?
candidates have that, including myself when I didn't know any better.
Okay. So story time. Let me start from a story, and then we can kind of work our way backwards. I just made a. Oh, I didn't post it. You will see a guy. You will see a. You will see a video this week coming about this story, so you guys get it first. So listen. This past Thursday or Friday rather, I have a corporate client who was looking to make a decision between 2 final candidates he had in consideration for a director of engineering role. Both candidates were checked all of the boxes qualifications wise. Both candidates would have been a great cultural fit. Right? They were both even killed. The deciding factor is what's going to blow your mind and what's relevant to this conversation. So during the last interview, the hiring manager tells both candidates, "Hey, the maximum budget I have for this role, if we get to an offer, is 150,000. Is that going to be okay?" Candidate A said, "Hey, if it can save you and the department money, I can take 135." You know, and candidate B said, "Hey, I definitely understand. Basically, in so many words, I understand your constraints, but with my experience and what this role requires, in order for me to accept this role, I require $175,000 a year." So the hiring manager calls me, and that's what happened in the final interviews. He calls me to tell me who he wants to make the offer to. He chooses candidate B and pays the $25,000 over the budget. And here's why. He said, "Hey, Justin, this is a leadership role. I need somebody who, number one, is not afraid to speak up in tough situations, not afraid to speak up for themselves, and number three, can effectively speak up and get the win in non-favorable situations." And that candidate exhibited all three of those things. As a leader of this director team of software engineers, I need somebody who can say the hard things to the different engineers when I don't want to have to deal with mess. And that showed me if he can stand up for himself, he can stand up for his team, and that he knows his worth. And it just put his value a little bit more higher than candidate A.
It's like dating.
What do you mean by
Seriously.
that? What do you mean by that?
Like when you're in a date and you're trying to attract, because it's a courtship process. Like if I go on a date with a guy, I would like to position myself as a value added partner. So if you're going to go to a company, you want to position yourself as a value added customer. I'm
Mhm.
sorry, employee. So it all comes down to communicating your value.
Yes,
And I
and
think a lot of the things around this entire job search is mindset and positioning, right? We don't do that enough because of our fears. We hold back. And when I talk about a dating process, and let me be very blunt, I'm going to turn off my camera and off and on for a second. Um, is confidence,
mhm,
let me say it this way, is sexy.
mhm,
And a recruiter or a hiring manager that sees someone that is confident but humble, I think that there's a fine line we need to be careful with. Not being too overly confident and not being too like low in the confidence level, but just middle. That is really an attractive quality. And Justin, you're a recruiter. I mean, you place people all the time.
yep. And you're absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. And what that story I just told you is not that's not one off. It happens a lot through my 15 years. So let's back up to answer your question first. The fear. People dealing with fear. You have to get over that, because guess what? If you don't know your worth, nobody's going to pay you. And honestly, the fact that it took so long, that the hiring manager came back and had that conversation, went outside of my protocol, because I deal with the budget at the beginning, right? So of course, both of my candidates were going to accept whichever, right? Now, candidate B, he did throw a curveball in there, and I'm not mad at him, right? Do what you have to do, but this is what I'm saying. If you're afraid to lose a role, you're going to lose the role. If a job is not willing to pay you what you deserve and what you require, there's a difference between you being greedy and getting what you require, right? So you just can't be afraid. Even if your back is against the wall and you've been unemployed for 6 months, right? If you get to the offer stage, either if you're afraid, then just accept the offer as is. At least ask for the 150. Candidate A shot himself in the foot for taking less. Okay, I do see a question. Question is,
What if the company is interested in cost cutting? That's a lot of companies these days.
so here's the deal. And this is, let me be very blunt and clear. Yes, you are taking a risk if you stand up for yourself with that salary. But here's what you should do. Here's how you, when you speak with the recruiter, the first round, if they don't bring, if it's the recruiter, not the hiring manager, if they don't bring it up as they should, you bring it up. Hey, may I ask what the operating budget is for this role? If they bring it up and they say, what is your, this is a simple, everybody should know this step or this tip. Whenever a recruiter or somebody asks you, what is your salary requirement? Never give a number. Always respond with, hey, what is your, what range are you guys offering for this role? Whatever range they say, as long as it's within your range, you say you're at the top of that range. Don't give a number. Just say, hey, I'm at the top of that range.
Here's what I will add, and I get that question often. I say, I don't want to and tell me if I'm, correct me if I'm wrong, Justin, but the way I say it is exactly as you said it, but I also add, I would like to revisit this conversation down the line as I learn more about the team, the responsibilities, and the company.
No,
No?
I mean, it work. It's not horrible, but it's not the best. And I'll tell you why. But first,
But
uh,
I add that on top of what you said.
okay, well,
I
if
think
they,
it's in my range, but I wanna prioritize that because to me, in their head, it shows that she's also going to talk about this again. I think, uh, I'm
no,
just that's what I've been saying.
okay,
Do
as
you
long
think?
as you add that first part that I typically say in
Yes,
there,
yes.
yes, then that's fine. That's perfectly fine.
Of course. Yeah, of
Okay, I
course.
thought you were just saying I don't want to talk about that at all right now. We
No, no,
don't want
no.
to do that. To answer Anway's question, what if the company is interested in cost cutting? If again, it is with you. What salary are you looking to accept? And also, if money isn't the most important, but it's a great opportunity and you see a lot of potential for growth, then you say, hey, listen, if this is your maximum budget, let's wait till, like Netta said, money isn't the most important thing to me. Let's get to the offer stage and then we can negotiate then.
We're gonna revisit this question
Gotcha.
because I think that towards the end, a salary, there's more to it. And I just wanted to add something about what you had said earlier, Justin, about if I remember what I wanted to say. You don't think you would forget that on your own live.
Well, I have something that you can catch back up. So before
Yeah,
we
go
go
ahead.
to the next tip or topic, here's some key things I want to say. Okay. The offer isn't the finish line. All right. That is the starting point for your negotiation. Never accept that first number. All right. Hiring managers expect counter offers. They do. If you don't ask, you're leaving money and respect on the table. And I cannot tell you how many times hiring managers gave a low ball number on purpose. I'm not saying it's right, but I just have to do my job. They gave a low ball number. If the candidate didn't give any pushback, the hiring manager is saying, hey, wait, let's interview one or two more people because this person doesn't seem confident in themselves. And it is absolutely
They
biased.
want to get it over with. Many
It
of them
is,
just want to get it over with.
they do, but the
Isn't that
mindset,
true?
yes, the psychological mindset behind it, when you're doing your offer, you have to exude your confidence. All right. So never accept that first offer, always push back. All right. Normalize silence. One of your best negotiation tactics is letting the pause do the talking. So if they say, my salary range is up to 150, but your requirement is 165, and you say, hey, listen, that's a little bit under my range, but money isn't the most important thing. I'm willing to go through the interview and get to the offer phase. Okay, boom, that happens. You get to the final offer, and a recruiter's like, okay, are you able to do 150? And your first answer can't be no. You say, hey, I would really like to do 165. Be quiet. A lot of candidates, when I'm interviewing them and we have that exchange and they give me a number or they say something, I will sit there for a second. I'm really honestly just thinking of looking at the budget to see if I can really do it. Before I can get it out, they'll start, well, because I've done this and that. No, that lessens your value. Silence. Don't be afraid to feel the silence. Once you made your statement, be quiet and let the recruiter or the hiring manager respond. I don't care if they sit there for a minute. Trust me, just sit there.
It's like a match. You go
Yes.
down once it goes from one chord to the other. The thing I wanted to say, now I remember it. You talked about shooting yourself in the foot. If
Hmm.
you don't negotiate the salary properly at the offer stage and even in the beginning, you are shooting yourself in the foot because that's the salary you're gonna start with, people. And when you want a bonus a few months or a year down the line, you're gonna start with that low base. So why don't you set the bar high from the beginning?
Exactly.
That's
Uh,
money in your pocket. That's money that you could use.
it's money that you're leaving on the table. Anway, okay. Oh, Anway said he was considering basically what if they're cost cutting with that example I gave with two employees. What if the company was more interested in cost cutting? Then you'll lose out on the role. But here's the deal: would you rather sacrifice and lose out on that $15,000 for that role, or would you rather, I'm sorry, sacrifice and take that $15,000 pay cut on that role when you don't know a month later you could have been found that opportunity that was able to pay you the $30,000 more? Right? There's a difference between taking the career job that you want when you need money versus just getting a side job. This main career that's going to take up most of your 40 hours, 40 plus hours a week needs to be something that you love, both passion wise and skill set and monetarily. Okay. We all understand backs being against the wall and having to do other things, but your main baby, your main sweetie, you got to keep that to what you love and what you will continue to want to do. Because trust me, if you get in a job that you don't like money wise, it will drain you, and then you won't have time to do the job search because you'll be too tired. You'll be drained from work, upset, mentally drained, have to deal with your family. They're going to drain you even more because you're not in your best place. Then things will start to fall behind. Then you're not feeling your best. And I don't even want to go to the deep spiral of the mental space you will go to. I've done it personally, and I've seen it in plenty of my clients and candidates. Okay. So I hope that answers your question, Anwe. And thank you for asking. All right. I had two more things. Normalize the silence. And then, do you have flexibility in the offer? That is a softer close, then that's too low. So if their range that they provide is too low, just say, hey, do you have any flexibility? All right. Now, if they rescind because you negotiated, you dodged a toxic workplace. And that's going to be for another topic on another day. That's what I have to say about how to negotiate. And if any questions come up later, we will be free to revisit.
So, you're a career coach.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned this not long ago that a career coach or a candidate can have someone represent them in the salary negotiation phase. Is that like I learned about this a few months ago and I was
Yes.
tell us
How did
about
that
that.
how did that work out for the person, the people that it dealt with?
It went well. There was a small salary increase, but I think it kind of placed the candidate in a more I think they looked at the candidate differently after because I think a company when they see a candidate has an advocate, a representative, they know that this person knows their stuff. They know that this person is protected. And that's one of the reasons why I love doing these kind of spaces or these
Mhm.
kind of live streams or learn more about this because I'm not only protecting myself, but I'm also protecting the other job seekers out there. Because companies, at the end of the day, they want to save money, right? And we want more money. And it's all about positioning our value and confidently communicating our value. And when we have someone representing us, it's kind of like having a lawyer and going in front of your client and advocating on your behalf. Do you think the client will look at you the same way? Tell me.
Okay. So because you told me a little bit about your story and your friend's experience with this, I have to say, so I disagree a little bit, right? I think that in the instance that we spoke about, the candidate was being hired by a third party recruiter. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now that makes a big difference. Third party
Okay.
recruiter, we just care about getting that fee. We care about getting a candidate in the offer. So if that career coach was talking to that third party recruiter, he had a lot more leeway because that recruiter is going to be a lot more patient, right? And that's me as a third party recruiter myself. If I had a candidate and I was right at the offer table with them, with the client, and they were trying to push back and they had somebody call on their behalf, I would eat that and deal with it to do whatever I have to do to get this offer signed because I don't work for this company and I don't work for you. I just need the check, right? So I'm going to take that. Now, as an internal recruiter, that would piss me off. That's like having your mom call somebody, don't why can't you negotiate for yourself? And then when I have to tell when I go to the hiring manager, it's gonna piss me off because I gotta go to the hiring manager and then I gotta hear their mouth. Because the hiring manager is gonna say is wait, they have somebody else calling to negotiate on their behalf. Why aren't they doing it themselves? I like other hiring that will no, I don't think that would go over well if you did that directly with the internal recruiter, because that you're already also hire. Remember, guys, I deal with hiring managers on a daily basis and have for the last 15 years. People are people, and people are people. Okay, they're biased, they're rude, they're all the things that they're not supposed to be. But guess what? They still have the jobs. So when I'm sitting in these meetings and the off the record meetings with hiring managers, and I get to hear them off the cuff, no, they don't. That is going to be a sign of weakness. Okay, now is that 100%? Is that going to be 100% of the time? No. All right, but I would say it's a 78% chance that that will not go the way you want if the career coach is doing your negotiating for you with an internal recruiter. If it's a third party recruiter, have at it, because the third party recruiter to another third party recruiter can talk that talk. We know, okay, are they really just not offering this, or are you type trying to get a higher return on investment on your hourly rate? If it's a full-time placement, okay, what is the actual budget? Is there any wiggle room before you lose this? I know you need this placement, so my client needs this amount, and if you get her this amount, she will accept a verbal offer and you can have it signed today. That's a whole different conversation. All right, versus just having your mom call the principal, or that's like having your mom call your teacher for you or something. I don't know. Having your mom come fight your at school.
Your battles.
Yeah.
Well, I'm learning things live right now, and that's the reason why I chose you as a co-founder. You are phenomenal.
Oh, well, thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you. I hope we're not, you guys, I do give no fluff. I don't come across rude. I just tell you how it is, not how it should be. So we can
Thank you
navigate
for
that
that.
aspect. But
Thank you
does that
for
make
that.
sense though? Can you understand that ideology?
Yeah, I learned something new live. I hope our audience is learning something live. Tell us if you have any questions. We're talking about how to negotiate your offers. That is our topic, hot topic right now. So let's talk about prep work. When a candidate wants to prepare to negotiate, you can't just go like that. Requires research, requires preparation, it requires strategy, a lot of strategy. So when I want to do a salary negotiation, this is just myself and Justin, feel free to complete anything I say, is I do my research. So there's some websites, I believe, levels dot what's the website? Levels dot x Glassdoor I know is one, Indeed is another one. Try to find out what is the salary for the role that you're getting at ideally the same company or at a different company. Dig, look beyond those sites. Look at Reddit, look at Quora, look and research within the company, outside of the company, and in the same location. Do an evaluation, especially if you are looking to move for this role. Look at the expenses that you will incur in the city you're moving to. You have no idea how many companies I see. There was another job father recruiter, Jermaine. He talked about how A lot of companies are lowballing candidates and asking for ridiculous requirements for an entry level job. A lot of companies are not paying candidates their worth. You can't survive in New York with a $25 an hour salary. Let's be honest. You can't. That's like peanuts, right? So do your research about the city you're moving to and then decide, is this for me? That's the first thing. Is this for me? Can I survive? Can I live a quality life with the salary that they're giving me? So the city, the role, do your research, do your prep work, and talk to people. There's nothing that hurts. There's also um, a Fishbowl, which is another app. It's kind of like a social media app by Glassdoor, where you can go and ask your questions as well. And there's also Blind as well. That's another really cool app that I would recommend you all to go and like ask your questions. You have people that anonymously post information there from like the companies they work at. So you get like insider intel directly from the people. Justin, anything to add on that?
Yes, so all of that is great advice. Okay, but remember, it's all about what stage you're at. If you're entry level, do that research, right? You definitely need to do that research that Netta just mentioned, right? Go to the Glassdoor, go to the Fishbowl, go to the different company sites, and just Google, see what they say about the salary and what the salary requirements are per region. Because salary bands, guys, are broken up into, it's called a salary report, right? Recruiters have it. There's big, Reuters does one, Robert Half does one, uh, Thompson Reuters, Thompson and Reuters, if I'm saying it right. I think I'm saying it right, but they all have salary guides that they send out on a yearly basis, right? And it has all the different positions, all the different departments. Bigger companies or more organized companies within internal have salary guides and bands that they're only allowed to offer to every level. They break it down to engineer one, engineer two, that's engineers with 0 to 3, engineers with 3 to 5 years. It breaks it down that much. Okay, just so you guys know the science behind it. So do your research so you can know what you should be asking for if you're entry level. By the time you're mid to senior, you should know your worth, right? And you also have a quality of life, right? COVID was bad. So if you were making 170, it's going to be difficult to go down to making 110. But is your 170 too much of an ask because during COVID they were paying an increase and the role really only requires about pays about 150. So that's the research. That's where your research comes in if you're mid to senior level in your career. Understanding if what you were most recently making is still realistic and in alignment with today's market. Okay. But the key thing before all of that research is have a number in mind. If you don't know what you need, that you can't start. You can't go looking. How are you going to negotiate if you don't know what you need? Myself, when I go, if I take another W-2 job, the least amount of money I'm going to take is 150 because that's going to, and that takes away because that's I'm paying you paying for my 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, if not more, and you're just paying for overall my experience. And I'm not talking to you for less than 150. And if I don't get the job, oh well. Go ahead, Netta.
Two things I wanted to bring up. AI. We could all use ChatGPT or other LLMs for this. I would use Gemini. It's really good. It's from Google when it comes to research. But please, for the love of God, take everything it says with a grain of salt. It hallucinates. Validate the information with another human being. Please, I implore you. The other thing I wanted to add about the ballpark number when it comes to the salary is that there are some things you can't put up, like there are some other things, other bonuses like benefits. Um, sometimes they give you a salary just for starting. Uh, there's the education budget for training, for conferences. Look at all the perks that you get by working at the company and try to set a number for that.
I disagree.
Wow. No?
No,
Really?
let me tell you, this is some insider stuff that you guys should know. Okay. Now, if you find a
Yeah.
job in a company that you let me back up. Know your number. Forget benefits. Know your number because that number, even if it's higher than what you're currently making within your first 6 months of working there, you're going to feel like you deserve more. That's just everybody. You're always going to want more money. So know your number first, without benefits, without vacation. That number is your first piece of happiness. Now, if you're willing to go have a plus or minus of 10,000 of that number, that's still a number. That's still a range. You do need a range to. What are you willing to negotiate with? Go ahead.
I have a follow-up. What is the number? Because I was in a similar situation.
Mhm.
I was in a similar situation. I will not say when. I had a startup that was growing. I think they were at seed A, and I had a big company that I was working that I got an offer. The salary difference from my previous job and the other job was a contracting company. I was a contractor. The salary difference at the other company I was working at before, I company before and the new company, it was a 34,000 salary difference. Now, as a contractor, I had no benefits. And the salary difference, I said I got 2 offers, one as a contractor in IT, and the other one is SaaS startup. The salary difference between these 2 companies was $22,000.
Okay.
What will you say to that?
So you got which one?
$22,000 difference. I ended up accepting the role as a contractor.
Yeah. Well, of course you're paying. That's the one that paid the $22,000 more, right?
More
Yeah, but
compared to the
that
startup
it
and
paid that much more.
$34,000 more than my previous job.
Yep. Then well, that's a good. What's the question? I mean, sounds like you did the right thing.
I did, but I mean, take that and I say depends on the range. That's the point I was
Yes.
trying to make.
Okay, got you. Yes,
Depends
absolutely. That was
exactly on the
good.
range, salary
Yes.
difference.
First of all, kudos to you for getting that salary difference. Just understand if you take a contractor role, typically if it's 1099, you just have to make that up in taxes, but it's fine. Um, what was I saying? So I forgot what I was. What were we talking about before that?
The number, the range.
Oh yeah, make sure you know your number. Make sure you know your range. Have a plus or minus 10, 15,000. When you just so you another insider piece of information, whatever budget they give you, asking for as long as it's not like 20,000 is a little bit pushing it, but $10 to $15,000 more a year is not a lot to a company. Okay, if they really want you, they'll give it to you. If not, that means they have somebody else that they can offer to you for less, and they probably will. Right, but those are things you can ask the recruiter realistically without without shooting yourself in the foot, because even if it's an internal recruiter, they just want to get the job filled. Okay, I was talking about something because we said don't do something.
It was exactly this. The things you can't put in like a price on, like the benefits and everything, the education.
Got
These
you.
are
Okay,
things you can't.
benefits, that's what it was. Benefits are important, but they come second. Now if you have an offer from a company that's willing to pay, say your requirement is 160, one company is willing to pay you 160 and they don't have any benefits, right? Or their benefits are not that great. Another company says, hey, we can pay you 150, but you have unlimited vacation. Their health benefits package is very good. They give you travel, they give you a phone, all of these different benefits. You have to decide: is this company culturally better for me? Can I see myself growing? If so, then take the 150. Right? Don't let $10,000 make you miserable and then just unemployed again in the next 6 months. But again, never just focus on the benefits first. Always have your number and a range plus or minus that you're willing to accept. But if it's under that range and the company is not exactly what you want, don't do it. Now, there's always a unicorn out there. If a job is perfect and you don't care about the money and that's just what you want and you believe in yourself and that's where you're supposed to be, take it.
I think that we're digging a little deeper than I thought in the
Yeah, I was
regarding
gonna
this. So we may probably need to put topic 2 for next week.
That's fine. Did you want to
Okay.
keep going on this or did you want to go to
We'll
another
see.
topic?
We'll see. I just want to make a small announcement. We are going to be doing this live stream again next week, same time. Thank you, Giancarlos. Thank you for being such an awesome friend. I appreciate you.
And thank you for
Next week,
reposting.
yes, thank you so much. You as well, Voy. We appreciate you. Next week at 12:30 Eastern, 5:30 Western Africa time, we're going to be doing this live stream again. We will make all the posts across the world for all of you. We are very excited because on September, let me see, look at my calendar. September, in 2 Sundays from now. There we go. Actually, it's, yeah, in 2 Sundays from now, We are going to have Francesco Ciula. He is a developer advocate at daily.dev. He is going to be our guest. He is from Italy, and I am ecstatic that he accepted to be our first guest in this live stream.
Me too, guys. Make sure you tune in. You don't want to miss what's going to go down.
Yes, Francesco does a lot of content creation around the job search. He's a speaker. He goes to conferences and talks, and he does a great job at representing daily.dev. So, Francesco, if you're watching this, we are super excited for having you. All right, let's keep going, Justin.
And
To
the
our
salary
100, yeah, just one last thing. To our 142 viewers,
viewers.
thank you so much for your support. We appreciate you. We are on LinkedIn and we are on YouTube and X. Please give us a follow. We will be sharing those links out with you as well.
We're also on
Appreciate you
Twitch.
so
So
much.
while you Twitchers are playing games and you want to get some job advice, go ahead and turn our channel on. We'll be back next Sunday as well.
Yes, we did mention Giancarlos earlier, boy. All right. So we were talking about what again? Oh,
We're
yeah,
just talking about salary and the negotiation. I
salary.
was saying don't just focus on the benefits. I'm telling you, money does matter, right? Uh, but also focus on the level of your career that you're at and the level of life that you're at and the quality of life that you currently have.
Another question I have, Justin, and to our audience, please feel free to share your questions. We are looking at the comment section, and we're here to answer if you have any questions. This is an interactive discussion, so please feel free to ask any questions that you have. Justin, as a recruiter and as a career coach, I'm looking for your perspective on both sides.
Mhm.
How do you feel when a candidate brings you an offer from a different company?
What do you
And
mean?
if you were that like, how would you like to hear that information as a career coach, one, and two, as a
I don't
recruiter?
think I understand the question. What do you mean brings me an offer?
So, for example, I am going to be interviewing at company, like I'm at the offer stage with you for company A, but I'm also getting a counter offer with company B that is better than company A. How do you recommend a candidate to come to you and to like kind of have that discussion? Because firsthand, I could tell you as a candidate in the past, I felt incredibly awkward.
So you're saying
Like,
if I'm the recruiter, let's
yeah,
start there. If I'm the recruiter and I made you an offer, but you got a better offer from another company and you need to come talk to me about that.
yeah. How do you want to hear it?
It doesn't matter how any recruiter want to hear it. I can tell you what you need to say. Okay.
Go ahead.
Now,
Hey,
this all depends on your intention. Am I even though this other company is offering you more money, is that enough money for you to realistically take that role if I don't give you what you want? Or do you really want the job that I'm giving you, even if I can't give you the money? You need to decide that first. Okay. Because that if you just plan on taking that other job anyway, but you just want to see like both jobs are kind of even, you want to see if you can get more money out of me. What you should say is, hey, listen, I definitely appreciate the offer. I did receive an offer from another company, and while both companies are aligned, they are about $20,000 more able to meet in terms of meeting my salary requirements. So I do really love what you guys are doing here. I think I'll be a greater part of the team. So I wanted to give you guys the right of first refusal to see if you guys are able to match that offer. And yes, no, maybe so. But you have to not care. Just whatever they do it. Now, if you do care and I'm the job that you really, really want, but you also really, really want a little bit more money, what you would do is say, hey, Justin, I know we discussed an offer and I accepted this number, but I did just get a counter offer from another company that I was interviewing with. And I wanted to know if there's any room in your budget to increase the offer on my end. Don't even give them a number. Just say, is there any room for you to increase the budget? And let them tell you yes or no. If they ask, sorry guys, that's my baby. If they ask,
bless
if
her
they,
soul.
huh?
Bless her heart.
Yeah, she's in there getting her diaper. So
So
if
if
they ask you, then tell them what the offer is and say, hey, and just say that, hey, well, they offered X amount of dollars. And then don't be afraid to feel the silence.
feel the silence,
Let the recruiter
I
go
have
from there.
recruiter go from
I have a follow-up question, actually
Mhm.
two. As a recruiter, are you allowed to ask the candidate for proof of that offer? Or will you ask for it?
Mm,
Have you ever asked for it? Can they ask for it? And I know a lot of people in our audience are thinking that right now.
that is
that is
very
very
distasteful, and it's a very fine
very
line. So here's what I will say. Legally, it really depends on the state. I don't feel like going. I know the states, but I don't feel like breaking it down. You can look it up. It depends on the state if they can ask, right? To be 100% honest. Now, is it illegal fully for them to ask? No, they can ask, but it's more so an ethical thing.
ethical
And from my experience in being in the TAC internally and dealing with other clients,
clients.
What's a
external,
TAC?
a what?
Sorry.
What?
What's a TAC?
Talent acquisition. Sorry, talent acquisitions.
Ah, okay. No problem.
No worries. People don't believe you, right? If somebody's saying, "Hey, well, we need to see proof of that offer," and please forgive me, guys. Okay, I'm just a realist. That's typically the companies, like the tech companies, that their business owners are in the India region of the world, right? They're very aggressive over there, and they lack that. The, their work culture, they're allowed to do that, so they bring that when they're working with Americans, right? So if you're dealing with that type of back company that has that their headquarters and hiring managers from that region of the world, they're going to ask you. Okay. Now, if they're not from that part of the world and they ask you, number one, it's a toxic workplace because they're showing that they don't trust you, that you got to prove everything. If you don't like being micromanaged, that's a red flag that you're going to be micromanaged. Because at the end of the day, if they're asking you for that proof, they don't believe in you as a candidate. Because candidates, when I've had candidates come back to the table 4 times. But if you're the best candidate and that company wants you, the hiring manager will just say, close the deal. Justin, close the deal. Right. But also as a recruiter, that's my job to know that deal. That's why we push so hard to have that conversation before you get there. So if you come to me and you really want the job, that's just what you should say. Just say the truth. Stop caring about the companies. The companies don't care about you
Don't care
guys.
about you guys.
Should they mention the name of the company? That's the second question I have. Company XYZ gave me a counter offer worth this much, and they are giving me this, 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 this. Can you match it? Or
If
should
you're
they say, I got an offer from this company and this is what they're paying me? Should they go detail or general?
if you're not lying, because people do lie. So if you're not lying and you really have the offer, tell them the company name and this is what they're offering salary wise. Don't do too much talking. You don't do too much talking. Your confidence speaks volume. So for instance, I have I have client candidates that will say, yeah, Justin, I got a counter offer that was like $10,000 more. Can the hiring manager meet me in the middle? Let me know if so. I'm down to still sign an offer letter. If not, then I got to accept the other offer. Strong, confident. I'm not asking questions because as the recruiter, I need this role filled. I don't care about anything. I just need this role filled. This candidate got to the offer table, meaning the hiring manager liked them. I don't want to have to go back to interviewing. I don't want to have to go back and call somebody else that the hiring manager had a second thought on. I'm going to close you. So, no, don't give too much explanation. Tell them the situation and let them work it out. That's how, and how they respond will let you know how important you are to them as a candidate. If a recruiter says, well, that's really the highest we can go, there's nothing we can do. Every once in a while, that is the case because budgets, some companies stick tight to that budget. But I take that back. That's never the case. If they tell you that, they have another candidate that's comparable to you that will take the budget they're offering. Okay. Or they have a hiring manager and this is their first time around the bend and they're being real strict with that budget. So they just have to lose out on you. And then the hiring manager has to miss on 2 or 3 other people before they go up the budget.
I'm going to give an example. I won't name the company. This happened to me a few job searches ago.
Mhm.
I got hired. I got two offers, two companies. One is a startup, one is medium size. The other company, the salary difference was 16,000, but I wanted to work at the startup. They created a role for me They gave me a $9,000 salary increase. I was still not happy. They actually said they will give me benefits because the benefits at the startup started after 3 months once you pass probation. She said that they will have my benefits start from day 1.
That's
They
easy.
can bend rules, people. If they
Yes,
want you, they will work to get you, is what we're trying to say.
I'm glad you brought that up, Netta. Yes, that happens a lot. If they want you, but I guess if you don't work in benefits, you don't know. There's a lot that can be done. A lot of people don't even ask for a signing bonus. Now, a lot of times the answer is no, but you never know unless you ask, right? So,
Relocation packages.
relocation packages, all of that. You don't know unless you ask, right? Now, I'll give you an example. I have a client of mine, can't tell his position because, well, I have a client of mine, right? He got to the offer phase. He had two companies that he was in the offer phase for. One company offered him, but it required him to kind of go back on site 5 days a week. Decent company, but he didn't really, wasn't his best choice. But another company was fully remote, based out of another state, paid the money that he wanted, this, and that. But they were kind of moving slow to get him to the final interview. He went back to the table 4 times. They got increased the salary that they was offering him up to $50,000 more. Gave him I think 3 weeks more vacation. He's made it so that he only has to come to the office twice a week. So yes, Netta is right. When a company wants you, now the question is, how do you know if this company wants me? And again, when you come to the negotiation table, if the recruiter simply just flat out says, "Hey, no, we can't do that," then you're not their best candidate. I mean, you're not their only good candidate. You're not there. You're not that important to
The other thing I wanted to say is the offer letter.
them. Mhm.
I know people, and I won't name names, some of my friends, they know who they are. They just sign that document. They don't read. It's a legal document, people. Take your time to read it.
Here's
I
why.
was given, and I'll just finish this.
No,
Sorry,
finish. Go ahead.
very
I'm sorry.
quickly.
No, go ahead. Don't be.
I had an offer letter with 20, which was 20 pages long. Won't name the company. I went and I looked it up line by line by line. There were some things in there that I was like, "What is this doing here? It's not even relevant to me." For example, if someone in my team leaves, I have 48 hours to find a replacement, or I am responsible for any financial damages that are done. I didn't even lead a team. It was just me. So I just want to say, please take the time. Like, we're talking about negotiating offers. The negotiation of an offer is also the offer letter they give you. Because sometimes they just give you a random template that they have and they have you sign it at the end. I had them revise that thing 4 times before I was happy. I made them work, but this is a document that I would like candidates to take more seriously, please.
Hi, Marcy. Saw you say hi. Hey, Marcy. Hope all is well. Okay,
Hey,
listen,
how are you?
Netta, you just hit the nail on the head. Those offer letters are basically boiler templates that really a lot of recruiters they just go in and take out the name, the position, and the salary, right? But a lot of times people make mistakes because sometimes we're moving too fast. So you do need to look through it, make sure everything speaks to you because what you don't want to happen is when you're up for review or when you're trying to put together your annual or quarterly reviews and get your increments of how you should get raises and things like that. All of that matters in your offer because in your offer letter where it talks about job duties and details, if it has that line where it says and other responsibilities as needed, get that out of there as much as possible because what that means is when they do a mass reduction, if you do make it, they can pile more work onto your table without having to pay you more. That offer letter needs to state clearly what your role is. And then in that first review meeting, when you're setting your goals for the quarter and the year, make sure all of your goals are goals that are attainable by you and are not affected by any other team member. If they are, you need to lower the percentage of the weight of it. That's a whole nother conversation. The point is, read your offer letter, Make sure it says everything that you agreed upon. Make sure you know if they can fire you if you're with cause. Make sure you understand if it's arbitration only, so that you can't, if something does happen, you can't sue them. Make sure that it's not telling you have to pay a certain amount back if you leave within a certain amount of days. All of those things are hidden lines in the offer.
Companies do all the measures to protect themselves. Why aren't you protecting yourself in return? Remember that.
Yep.
Protect yourself
Use Chat
with
GPT.
the
Throw your
offer
offer in there
letter.
and say, "Hey, what are some things I should be concerned about?" Start there. I mean, read it
Remove
yourself
all the
too.
confidential info first, though. That's just my
Of course.
two
Of
cents.
course.
Okay,
All right. Thanks, Floyd. Have a good one.
Justin.
Good luck. Good luck with that.
Good luck with that.
Boy, my God. Good luck with that.
Everybody, he
All
said
right.
he gotta go. So good luck with hooking up with the
Good
girl.
luck with the girl.
Wish you the best.
Okay.
The I think we talked about this being in a courtship process too much that it inspired him to go and do something.
Well,
We wish you the best, boy.
we wish you the best. We do only have 9 minutes left. So, and we don't
Yes,
have to stop right on it, but I did want to say it looks like we did take the whole hour on this negotiating salary. So,
we did.
if anybody,
We did.
if any of the 174 viewers, if you have any questions, please take this time to ask. If not, we'll keep talking, to ourselves. But we want to be helpful to you guys.
That's the point. The point is to help our audience.
Because I talk
So
to Netta all
please
the time.
ask
She
any.
she she gives me advice all the time. I give her advice all the time. So,
I give you advice, really?
yes, all the
Oh,
time on how to connect and how to network. You got me.
thank
Look,
you.
you
But
got me smiling
I
today.
learned.
Netta never can get me to smile when we
Oh,
try to take our picture. So when you see the picture after this and I'm not
so
smiling,
yeah, I have my tactics to make you smile. All right. What else can we talk about when it comes to the salary negotiation? What are some more things that you wish candidates do, Justin, when it comes to salary negotiation, besides doing it more confidently?
I wish.
You're hearing it from a
Let's.
recruiter, by the way, everyone, and a career coach first.
I mean, there's you said being confident, right? Just this is still a part of being confident. I'm sorry, but this is just the main thing. Confidence is key. If you're not confident in yourself, then I don't believe you, right? There's a difference between, okay, I'm role playing as if I'm the candidate and Netta is the person, and she says, hey, Netta, if Netta said, hey, can you accept 145,000? If I said, well, I was previously making more than that, but I would really like 155. I'm going to push back on you because my job is to save the company money if I work internally for that client. Now, if you have a third party recruiter, that's different. Okay. But if you come to me, if I'm the candidate and Netta says that same question and my salary, and she says, hey, are you able to accept 145? Netta, actually, no, my salary requirement is 155. That's it. Don't say nothing else. Don't explain it, because explaining it makes you look like you're trying to justify yourself. Your level of confidence, your lack of words speaks volumes.
I have a question, a follow up.
Mhm.
It's all about psychology.
Mhm.
I can't believe I'm asking this, but it's all about being unfiltered here. What are some tactics that candidates can use to get some more insider intel on, the packages, the benefits from a recruiter? What can they do? 'Cause I think we're wondering the same thing. How can I get them to talk? Besides, being nice, being pleasant, smiling, and all that jazz.
So that's a dangerous conversation with the recruiter. So I would say, first of all, only bring this up when the money is brought up. Okay.
Of
Right.
course,
So if it's the
if the
first
money is
conversation,
brought up, to get them
if
to
the if
talk
it's
more.
yeah, if it's the first conversation they ask you your salary requirement, just go through the paces and get them to say they range and say whether you'll accept it or not. But when you get to the offer phase, don't do that before the offer phase. It's going to be hard to get them to talk before the offer phase because they don't know if you're going to make it through. So they don't really care. They're not vested in you. But once they get to the point where they're calling with that verbal offer, that's when you can get the details. Hey, Justin, I really like it. Can you tell me more about the details? I mean, about the details about the benefits. I know you sent me this benefits package. Is there any flexibility in vacation time? Is there any flexibility in relocation assistance or a signing bonus? Like you just ask. That's really all you do before you accept the verbal offer, because you have to understand your leverage point. If they're giving you the verbal offer, that means they want you. So you have the leverage. It's nothing but wait until you have that leverage, and then you just be nicely asked, "Hey, is there any? I was looking at the benefits. Is there any wiggle room? Are there any additional packages that somebody could get? You guys, I see you're not vested in your 401k until a full year. Is there a way I can get vested in 6 months as a plus to the offer, since you guys can't go up a little bit in the salary? Or hey, Justin, is this salary, is that a set budget only to the recruiter, not the hiring manager? The recruiters will help you out, because the recruiters, we want to get this role closed.
This role closed.
What if it's an internal role? Sorry, I mean like a role with a company without a recruiter, like HR. Same thing with them?
HR recruiter, yeah. Whoever is recruiting you
Same thing.
from
Okay.
that company. If it's
Got it.
HR, send
Got it.
whoever is talking to you, not to the hiring manager. Get to the HR, right? Because they'll be more realistic with you. Say, hey man, is this really the max budget you guys have for the role, or is there any wiggle room? Right? And if they say, well, there's really no wiggle room, you have to decide how to respond.
Yes.
The other question I have is, when we want to gain leverage to negotiate, I've done this before. Sometimes I've received a yes, sometimes I've received a no. They gave me the written offer, and I would ask them, can I have the information about the benefits package? Some companies say yes, some companies say no. The one that said no, I didn't push. I don't know if I'm glad I didn't, but once I signed, I saw the packet, the benefits package was really good. But what would you say candidates should do if a company doesn't want to send the benefits package before they sign the written offer?
Were those companies in America or Canada?
Oh, it's a legal thing now?
I'm asking, it's a cultural thing. It's in Canada. I thought so. In America, there's typically, the only reason a company won't send you the benefits ahead of time is if they don't have it ready, because maybe they're a smaller company, or maybe they just didn't take the time to type in their package. But typically, a U.S. company will always, a lot of better companies with better recruiting processes have it so that if you make it to the final round, you're sent the benefits package. A lot of candidates will ask me before they even get to after the first round. If they get to another round, they'll say, "Hey, can you email me a copy, or get the client to email me a copy of their benefits package?" And they'll send it over unless the company doesn't have it.
My last question for today, because we are approaching top of hour. Thank you to our 205 viewers. We really appreciate you. Thank you for
Really
sticking
appreciate it.
sticking around up until now. It means so much to us. My final question is, Justin, I've been in interview process, and this was when I didn't have much experience, where the salary question was never brought up throughout the interview process. And I just went with it because I just didn't want to be pushy. I didn't want to be annoying. I don't want to be that candidate that they brush aside. Um, what do you think? When do you think, like, if they don't bring it up, you said earlier, like, when is the best time for them to bring it up? When will the company actually, like, before the offer stage? Like, I think as a
So,
candidate, I deserve to know, is this worth my time? Because when you interview, there's case studies, there's work, there's preparation that goes into prepping for an interview. Just wondering.
yes. Sorry, didn't mean to hit that. So, great question. If in the first round interview it is not brought up, and you're at the end of that interview, and the recruiter, or whoever, even if it's the hiring manager, if they don't have a recruiter, they say, do you have any questions for me? Even if they don't, before you get off the phone, you say, hey, listen, had a great conversation. Can I please know, we didn't talk about it. What is the salary range for this role? Okay, that's option A. Now, if you're a confident person, this is only if you're confident and not afraid. Okay, a confident person, someone like me, if they don't say it at the beginning of the interview, before we get into the questions, I'm asking, hey, just so I don't waste your time and you don't waste my time, what is the offer? What range are you guys offering for this role? Now, that's me as a candidate. Me as a recruiter, and a lot of other great recruiters I know, it is part of the process that the very first contact you have with a candidate, one of the first 5 questions I ask before I even get into the interview is I'm asking, what is your name? Is it still a good time to talk? Where are you currently located? And before we get started, what is your salary requirement? Because I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste 45 minutes just for you to tell me you're not accepting that salary. So does that answer your question?
It does. And this is the last thing. I
No,
think
no rush.
from a recruiter's perspective, when you see a candidate showing you that they value your time and they value theirs, what goes on in your mind?
It just helps. I won't think about it right then and there, but won't be a pain in my butt. So that'd be a good thing. You got to remember, guys, recruiters, you don't think about a lot of things in sight. What are you going to do to make me remember you? I have 18 interviews today. All for the same position. How are you going to stick out?
That could be a whole different topic. How to be memorable with recruiters and hiring managers. All right, everyone. We are at top of hour. Exactly. Thank you for your time. We hope that you got some value today during our conversation. Once again, we are doing this live again next week, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Western Africa time. And we will share more info about the topic next week. It'll probably be the second topic we didn't cover today. But thank you. If you have any feedback to share with us, if there are any topics that you would like, if there's someone that you would like us to interview, let us know. We will be talking in the coming weeks with CEOs, hiring managers, recruiters. We will get those conversations raw, unfiltered, delivered to you at Unfeathered. So, Justin, you know our tradition. Any last words?
Famous last words for today. Thank you so much for joining us. I really enjoyed the conversation. I hope you did as well. Don't be afraid to negotiate and speak up for yourself. Know your worth. And even if internally you are a little bit afraid, not just because you're not confident in yourself, but maybe because the stress of, if you've been out of work for a while, all the bills in life and having to take care of family is also weighing on you. You know, don't let it overwhelm you to the point where you're missing out on opportunities. Okay. Always understand this. Number one, I'm a man of faith. Talk to God. God always got you. All right. If it feels like the right fit, but the salary isn't right, and just something in your spirit is telling you not to take it, don't take the role. And don't even try to negotiate. But before you negotiate, talk to God first. Ask that He gives you favor when you walk into that room or when you walk into that conversation. Speak boldly, confidently, and don't be afraid of the silence. That was my closing remarks. And also, I am having a sale from now until the 31st of August, where I am offering my middle packages of career coaching services. Usually a price of $500 is now only $250. That'll get you access to the Job Father AI. It'll get you 3 1-hour strategy coaching sessions, and it'll get you the strategy to take on after those 3 weeks to go ahead and land your job within 90 or 100 days.
One of the things I like about Justin is that no fluff. I have heard and I've had sessions with him. I learned something new every time, and I host these kind of spaces where we talk about career conversations for at least 2.5 years. He always brings something new and a different perspective to the table. So,
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Justin. Appreciate your time today. My last words for today are practice. Salary negotiation, practice it. Practice with your community. Practice with a friend. You leverage AI. Do a role play kind of scenario. But I would always say practice with a human first. Use it to inspire you. Use it to give you information, but always practice with a human first. And the other thing is, I talked about community. I am a person of faith as well. Trust God, talk to God, but also I mentioned this last week as well. No empire is risen by itself.
Agreed.
You do not need to struggle in silence, and you do not need to go in your corner scared and stressed and in anxiety. Be a part of a community. Unfeathered is one. We are going to be doing more events like this. We have a space every Saturday, topic based on X. Feel free to join us, and we will have another one next week, Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Western Africa time. We'll be sharing all the links as well with all of you. So join a community, get your questions answered, get the help that you need. And until next week, we both wish you a beautiful week ahead. And thank you so much for your time. It means so much to us. Let us know if you have any questions, if you need any feedback. We're very open to feedback. And if there's any guests that you would like to see on this live stream. Till next time, God bless everyone. Thank you
Have
for
a
your
good one.
time.